Hey, Freedom Prayer Team, Tuesday tips. These are going to be shorter today, but I have 3 quick, easy breezy tips for you to remember. First is about assumptions. Make no assumptions about where a person is in terms of their connection with the Lord. It doesn't matter if somebody comes into a prayer time and they're a staff member, an elder's wife, or someone who's a longtime believer and has a prayer life. I can just tell you from my years as a discipleship director and what I'm seeing in Freedom Prayer, this is not necessarily happening, that people have this encounter sort of space with God. People use lots of spiritual language. They bring in things that they believe about how God comes to a space, but they're not necessarily encountering the Lord. And I'm using the word encounter on purpose. I know that we're using the word connection publicly and with each other, but I want us to remember what's really happening there. We are facilitating the encounter with God. You, the team, God, and the person. You are responsible to protect the space of the encounter with God. So please do not assume that just because somebody says the right thing or is a believer for a long time that they're going to make that connection. This is huge because, again, we're leaning into encounter and connection. I'm excited about this piece, and I want you to just think about the people that you've walked into and said, oh, they're going to be fine. Or they say one sentence and you assume they're good. Plumb the connection and don't assume. Okay, number 2, and this is a quick one on chair 3, taking the notes. Okay, remember the whole team is responsible, and mainly chair 3, but all of you, to make sure somebody leaves that room with notes if they're handwritten. If you choose to type them and you're going to email, here's a quick tip. Please, before they leave, check to see that you have their email. Confirm that it's the right email and confirm that it's a private email, because there are people who share an email with their spouse. And as you can imagine, that could get a little sticky depending on, what the content is, or just that you want your privacy. So remember to check their email and make sure and ask them, hey, is this a private email? And if not, you can figure out an alternative. And one last thing, this is brought up by somebody else. I love that some of you are shooting me emails to say, hey, this might be a good Tuesday tip. So please feel free to do that. I love it. That last one was a suggestion from somebody, and so is this one. This is about follow-up, and the question was, should we be following up with the people that we're praying with? And the answer is, this is not necessary at all. It might be something you want to do if you're going to have that person come back to another prayer time and you're going to be sitting in one of those chairs again. If those are some of the deeper issues and you feel like that's warranted, then it might be a space you want to check in, but typically I would say no. Because, gosh, as these prayer times begin to pile up and we see more and more people, that's just going to really tax our team and to provide too many connections. Some of these people can grab a hold of your time, and you're into a text, life with that. So I'm trying to protect our team and also provide a place. We don't want them to get dependent on us and become sort of a spiritual advisor. So I know checking on them is again the heart. Feel free to do it if you want, but that commitment is going to grow if you choose to do something like that. So I would say no, and it's definitely not necessary according to the Freedom Prayer Team. So those are your tips for today, and hey, I'm looking forward to seeing everybody at the picnic on Sunday. We still have a couple of gaps in side dishes and maybe 1 or 2 desserts if anybody wants to do that. We have lots of cookies and brownies and a couple of potato salads and coleslaws, but we don't have a whole lot of other type of things. I will be providing some sides, and of course Tim and Britt will be providing some pulled pork. I think we've got mashed potatoes and some pasta and a salad and maybe some broccoli as sides. But if you're coming and you want to bring something, just shoot me a text. I would love it. Love you guys. See you soon.